emergency management is to provide organizational, situational awareness, and government strategies and the emergency management plan represent the big picture. They also assert that when the connecting interoperability between cybersecurity and emergency management is operating in dysfunctional awareness, then the danger lurks in a bigger uh, amount. So the role of cybersecurity in emergency management is to focus on the responsibility of the communities to build proactive and resilient, collaborative and communicative strategies to stop threats proactively, determine the vulnerabilities, and build resilience from natural and man-made disasters. There are many challenges to it. Like during an emergency, human mistakes are naturally common. Time pressure and the lack of familiarization of electromagnetic practitioners with concepts of cybersecurity would make it relatively easy for cyber attackers to exploit human mistakes, possibly through social engineering. So the insider threat or man at the end attack may also be very significant. For example, in 1992, a failure of Chevron's computerized emergency alert system delayed the authorities from notifying the public of a chemical release accident. The failure was caused by a disgruntled former employee who had disabled the emergency alert function. Cyber security awareness helps emergency management disrupt two important operational threats. One is vulnerability associated with intended or unintended insiders threat due to lack of preparedness, and the second threat is associated with the damages to an organization's system that could go unnoticed until a critical situation forces the recovery of the systems. So for this very reason, emergency management and cyber security must work together, and they must coordinate and provide the organization's personal training, awareness plans, visualization, prevention, resilience, and operational positions to all the personals who are likely to come in contact with such issues. So within the government, there are many orders which encourages organizations to be efficient, innovative, and risk analysis driven in their approaches to cyber security infrastructure. In the 20th century, natural disasters, domestic and international socio-economic stressors, domestic and international terrorism, transmitted pandemic diseases, and cyber wars were problems of the government. But now, with the advance of technology, the growth of multiculturalism, and the burden of threats influencing social strata, these problems concern all citizens, organizations, and socio-political nuclei in our society. It's no more a government's problem. And also with the advent of personal computer as well as increasing complexity and reliability of networks, it has brought about a great challenge in the area of data security. The decreasing price and increasing capabilities of personal computers has resulted in many people in the organization acquiring these machines. Now, Dr. Rahul Chaudhary just mentioned how you can watch a particular YouTube and you can become an expert. So these machines and the increase is giving everyone this capability now. The ever increasing number of software development packages available has also made it possible for the people to develop their own systems. So knowledge gained from developing these systems can also give the capability to circumvent security measures built into the current system. So the ever increasing use of internet means there were potential threats from outside the organizations. And once we combined all these issues and with the fact that information systems are becoming more and more crucial to a successful daily operation of many organizations, and that has brought about major advance in data security issues, but there is a lot to be done. So whatever is deemed as critical infrastructure as issue for the government is a critical problem for any organization, cybersecurity and emergency management team. And so it should be treated as such. Sorry. Organizations, they establish policies and regulations which focuses on preventing cybersecurity vulnerabilities, enabling interdependent systems to minimize interlinked damage resulting from the emergencies. Then a contingency plan is put in place, and all plans and strategies are documented and upgraded periodically. They should have the scalability factor in case of a large scale attack. Also, they must have protect the organization interest, which should be implemented in the various strategies and the plans. They must focus on the detecting and mitigating the gaps and vulnerabilities in the system. So there is a requirement for every organization to invest heavily into their data security and to fend off cyber attacks. So cyber security as a particular vertical in every organization needs to be given that much weightage, and it should be given that much of budgeting, because it's not a easy task. It's a very costly affair, and to keep up to date with the everyday emerging threats, it requires constant upgradation of men and material. So it is very important that we place greater efforts into research and development while also taking the initiative to thoroughly educate the public. Sorry, I'm coughing. So with this, I wish all the best to this program, and I'll be looking forward to the report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Major General Bindal, for sharing your perspective on the entire cyber threat issue and your experience on various other aspects related to cyber. And as you mentioned, it is all the more important for organizations to adopt cyber hygiene practices, and as we go forward with more and more automation and connected devices and systems with the cyber. So, sir, thank you very much for coming today for this program and sharing your wisdom and perspective with all the participants. So, sir, with this, we go to the next section of the program today, and we start the key lectures. And we have the two speakers with us. First speaker will be Mr. Vidur Gupta, who would be enlightening us on emerging cyber threats and need for strategies towards cyber resilience. So I would now like to invite Mr. Vidur Gupta, and Mr. Vidur is a part of EY team, and wherein he leads the cyber security vertical for government and public sector clients. He has over 20 years of experience in cyber security domain and works across Africa, India, and Middle East client entities. And we have a good working relations with Vidur prior to this. So with this, I would like to hand over the platform to Vidur. Vidur, we are now transferring the presentation rights to you so that you can continue with the presentation.
Thanks, Gaurav. Very warm good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vidur, and thanks for this opportunity, and great to see such an important piece, such an important topic being picked up. I'll just take 30 seconds, and please let me know if my screen is visible. I'll put it presentation mode.
Yeah, we can see your screen, Vidur.
Okay, sure. And thank you very much to Major General Bindal and Mr. Rahul. I think very appropriately highlighted on the cyber threats and the risks. So fortunately takes care of the first part of my presentation. I wanted to sort of reinstate on why it is important. But I'll take a few minutes in terms of explaining cyber threats and what elements have changed. And more importantly, why the cyber resilience as a terminology has come into the effect in last few years specifically, and what does it mean? I know the speakers earlier as well did speak, Major General Bindal and Mr. Rahul also highlighted. Very quickly, I think while in terms of the huge amount of changes which have happened predominantly in last 18-20 months, be it in terms of the cybercrime which has gone up, and there are varied studies which would put them maybe by 60%, 100%, and even much higher. The more alarming one is unfortunately the number of organizations being hit by ransomware. I'm sure most of us do understand ransomware is like a ransom in a normal world. The only unfortunate mechanism is that they use a digital element to it. They would lock your computer, they would lock your data, and they would ask for ransom either in terms of bitcoins or asking money. And the reason I'm highlighting specifically for Indian companies is that while this kind of an attack, we used to feel, oh, we might be safe. It might be happening in a mature digital country like a US or in Europe. But trust me, it's happening pretty much within our geography, within our countries, and a lot of entities that each and me might be interacting with on a regular basis. And with that, what is also a little concerning is that in terms of the confidence of entities, organization, government,